In this video, we're gonna go over 7 ways contractors are scamming homeowners. I have been contractor for over 15 years and I know every single way they're doing it. I've seen it among my competition, I've seen it in the news, and I'm here to warn you about red flags that you can avoid. Number 1, they're not pulling permits. I know there are a lot of areas in the country where people think permits are irrelevant. Here's a few things about permit that you have to know. Number 1, to pull a permit, you have to be a licensed contractor. For example, I'm in Minneapolis. In Minneapolis, if you're a roofer, if you're a general contractor or remodeler, you cannot pull a permit unless you have license to do so. So a lot of contractors who are trucking the trucks cannot do that because they're not licensed to perform the job. Second thing, what I want you to think about the permits is it's not going to protect you on the back end, but it will protect you on the front end. Think about this. What permit is, it's registering with the government the work. You're going to be able to track not only the company who did the job, but also the owner of the business who did the job. Contractors go out of business all the time. And when we see this pattern that when business owner close one business, open another one, scamming people under this LLC and then start doing under this LLC, we actually can go find his record, what he was doing in the past 5-10 years. I have been able to track a lot of bad guys by looking at their permits they have been pulling in different states. For example, if you're in states like Florida, when you have to pull permits on majority of the home improvement projects, you can actually track the business owners behind those permits. A lot of times shadiness is happening when someone owns the business and another person is qualifying person owns that license. A lot of times the reason why business owner cannot pull a permit because he already have a bad record. It's simply the paperwork behind the work, which leads us to my point number 2. They're not registering warranties and scamming you that way. Paperwork comes with a good quality work when it comes to contractors. Sales is just not enough. Sales is a marketing promise, marketing gimmicks. A lot of contractors in construction will promise you that they have relationships with the big brands. GF in roofing, Train in HVAC world, Delta in plumbing. They're going to tell you that they install this premium brands, but if they are not registering warranties, they are probably not in best standings with those companies. Good work comes with a good paperwork. Good contractor will register good work and will not have a problem doing a little bit more on paper. It's like buying a car. Would you buy a car today if it would not come with a title or with the registration? So you cannot be a dealer and sell cars if you cannot deal with the title issuing, paying taxes, sending the right paperwork to local authorities. The same thing should be taking place in construction industry. Unfortunately, very small percentage of the contractors are diligent with their paperwork, and that's how they are getting away. And no one can make them accountable. They'll take your money, they'll start your project, and they'll walk away. They didn't do the permit, now they're not doing the warranties. What kind of leverage do you think you have in case of dispute with that contractor if he's not doing any of those things? Zero. Don't get scammed. Number 3, they're using the cheapest materials that are not in writing in your contract. You might have contracting or on a shingles, on specific shingles, maybe even color, but you don't know what kind of underlayments you're getting. The same goes with the harder floors. Make sure you ask those questions ahead of time. A lot of contractors will sell you on the premium brands, on premium promise, and they'll tell you that they're using the best of the best accessories. Yet, when it comes to actually doing the job, oftentimes what I see, they use thinner products. For example, in the roofing, they might sell you a metal roofing job, but if it's standing seam, there is a huge difference in cost between 26 gauge and 29 gauge. If you have insurance claim, insurance company might be paying for, let's say, 26 gauge, but your contractors might be saving money by installing cheaper underlayments, cheaper accessories, and cheaper gauge metal. The same goes for flooring. The same goes for carpet. Everything has specifications, qualities, and When you shop around for yourself, when you're the homeowner, and if you would be buying those products, I promise you, you would have your best interest in mind. You would use the best primers, the best underlayments, the best substrate products. But when it comes to construction materials, oftentimes we are settling for very generic brands. We're saving contractors money and they're taking us for a ride. Don't be that guy. Ask your contractor questions ahead of time. Make sure he puts it all in writing. Number 4, they are covering up rotted wood, rotted materials behind something that should be replaced. Happens a lot in the flooring, in framing, on the roofing, all the time. I've seen property after property. When you remove the drywall, you see the trash, you see the garbage happens on the floors. When contractors are lazy, they're lazy to clean up, they're lazy. Sometimes they're just laying over materials instead of replacing old ones. When it comes to exterior envelopes, siding, and roofing, oftentimes contractors are not replacing rotted or soft wood. Why? Not because they're not going to get paid, but because it's not paying enough, because it pays more for their time to get faster to second project, to next job. So when they cover it up, they think that it's not going to leak tomorrow, it'll have a couple of years, and they're going to be doing something else at that time. Make sure when you interview a contractor, because I don't want to make a video that just gives you this skies falling, all negative news, and I'm not here to bash contractors. There are plenty of good ones, but I'm here to tell you, to give you tips how to interview a contractor, how to ask them the right questions so you don't get screwed later. For example, in this case, I would ask them during the interview questions like, who's going to be managing the job? Do you have superintendent who is watching your subcontractors if you're using subcontractors? A lot of general contractors using subs. A lot of roofing companies using subs. And it's okay. What's not okay is when they're sending subcontractors to do the work and they're not supervising them, when there's no quality check. I've been the roofing contractor for 7 years, and I cannot tell you how many times I showed up. I opened up underlayment only to find out that the rotted wood was not replaced, because I cared about my jobs. Unfortunately, not every roofer is, not every sider is, not every flooring guy is. You have to keep them accountable because it's your money and you're going to be living in that house. Number 5 is very simple. They don't pay their subcontractors. They don't pay their laborers. Happens all the time. As a matter of fact, today I have 2 guys reaching out to me, calling out companies they work for. One guy in Colorado did work for $160,000. He only got paid $100K. Now he paid all his guys and he's still short 60 grand. Happens all the time. You want to make sure that a contractor who you're hiring, it doesn't have a bad record among his subs, among his roofers, among his subcontractors about not paying his bills. If he doesn't pay his bills, they're going to be knocking at your doors and you will have a conversation with them, and you will have to ask them to provide lien releases so you don't have liens on your property. And liens don't come just from labor, not only from subcontractors, they also come from materials. That's why red flag number 6 is contractors who are not paying their suppliers. Happens all the time. Contractors at the end of their cycle, if they're upside down, they cannot get out of debt. They don't have enough money on the books. They stop paying their bills. As a matter of fact, Directory.com just paid for one of the liens in the Midwest. We had to pick up a bill because someone we recommended decided to go out of business and did not pay his suppliers. Very nasty situation. You don't want to be that guy. And how do you catch that? Well, you read the reviews, you talk to them. You want to make sure the contractor who you about to hire is in good financial standings. He has a good character, he pays his bills, and usually it's a personal traits. You see what kind of car he drives, you see what kind of person he is, you hear him talking. If he is too flashy, if he's too new, if you feel like there's something fishy, maybe ask him a few more questions. Maybe go and read a few more reviews, because at the end of their careers, they're usually going to start seeing reviews when people start saying that they gave them deposit and for 5 or 6 months, nothing took place. And the best place to find a contractor is directory.com that covers this kind of liability. So if you hire a contractor at directory.com and if you gave them money and then run away with that deposit, didn't do the work, or maybe filed bankruptcy and now you have lien on your house, directory.com will reimburse you up to $20,000. That's your insurance on any construction job. But if you want to have peace of mind before you hire them, make sure you read the reviews, talk to them, be a good judge of character. And the last way contractors screwing homeowners is filing bankruptcy. Not everyone who's filed bankruptcy is bankrupt. A lot of times they're doing it because it's their business model, because they're not honest. They just like changing names. It's the easy way out. I know personally guys who've done it 3-4 times. And if you are on the receiving end of this, you're the sucker. You are the one who probably gonna get screwed. There are not much you can do, because if contractor is going out of business, he probably gonna hire a good lawyer who will present his case in court, how he's upside down, how he mismanaged his money, how he cannot pay $500,000 to his suppliers, and they're gonna file bankruptcy. And $20,000-$30,000 project that you have with them, well, guess what? You will have to find someone else. You cannot sue them. If you're suing a contractor who filed bankruptcy, you're just gonna be someone in line. You might get a few pennies on a dollar. Again, I want to plug in one more time. Directory.com is the best website to find a contractor. You will get a guarantee up to $20,000. And all you have to do is download the app and register your project within 30 days from signing the agreement, and you will get up to $20,000 if any of these 7 scenarios will take place. Comment below what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.